Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to dive into a topic that's quickly moving from a side note to the absolute heart of business strategy, and that's stakeholder engagement. We're going to break down why these relationships are so much more than just a nice to have. In fact, they might just be the single, most powerful, and honestly, most overlooked asset for any company that's serious about sustainability. So let's get into it. So let's just kick things off with a big question. When you think about what really, truly makes a sustainability strategy successful, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Maybe it's some amazing new green technology or a bold new corporate policy, right? And look, those things are definitely important, but the data, the real-world results, they all point to something much, much more fundamental.
And there it is. The real engine behind all this isn't found in some dusty rulebook. It's built in relationships. The whole game is shifting away from this top-down, just follow the rules kind of thinking to one that's all about collaboration, trust, and real, genuine partnership. And that's the big idea we're going to unpack today.
All right, first up, let's talk about the foundation. Before you can build anything that lasts, you have to understand why this kind of engagement is the absolute non-negotiable starting point.
So, what do we actually mean by stakeholder engagement? Well, the key phrase here is actively involving. This isn't just about shooting out a press release or publishing an annual report and calling it a day. No, this is a two-way street. It's about bringing people into the room, into the decision-making process, so you can build that all-important currency of trust and create value that actually sticks around. Okay, so next we have to put on our surveyor hats and map out the terrain. What this really means is figuring out exactly who we're talking about. Who are the key players in your world? We can pretty much break it down into four main groups. First, you've got your employees. These are the people on the ground making your strategy come to life every single day. Then, of course, you have your customers, the ones whose buying decisions literally shape the market. You've also got regulators, the folks setting the rules of the game. And last but not least, the communities you operate in, the people who give you your social license to even exist. Every single one of them has a crucial piece of the puzzle.
And right here, this is a huge mistake a lot of companies make. They jump straight into talking, into broadcasting their own message. But real effective engagement starts with the complete opposite. Before you say a single word, you have to listen. You've got to really map out what each of these groups wants, what they need, and what they expect from you. It all starts with understanding.
So once we get who we're talking to and what they actually care about, then we can start to build. This next part is all about the how, the practical architecture for putting together strong, lasting trust with all those key groups. And the blueprint for building that trust follows a pretty clear logical path. Step one, like we just said, is mapping expectations. You listen first. Then step two is all about communicating with radical transparency. And step three? Well, that's what happens when you do the first two right. You turn those conversations into real, durable, long-term partnerships. I really love this quote because it just cuts right to the heart of it all. You can't just write "build trust" on a whiteboard and check it off. Trust isn't something you aim for. It's the natural result of everything else you do. It's earned, little by little, with every transparent email, every honest report, and every single promise you keep. It's all about that consistency over time. And that brings us to the final, and I think most powerful stage. This is where all that foundational work really starts to pay off. It's where engagement transforms from just a series of conversations into a strategic, unstoppable driving force for the whole organization. I mean, just look at the shift here. In the old way of thinking, engagement was a chore, right? It was a box to check for a report, a defensive move, something that just cost money. The new model, it flips that completely on its head. Engagement becomes an active partnership. It's not defensive, it's a strategic driver. And it's not a cost center, it's a genuine source of innovation. Think about it. You get customers giving you ideas for greener products, or employees on the front lines finding brilliant ways to cut waste. That's a game changer.
And really, this is the biggest takeaway. The organizations that are absolutely crushing it, they're not just managing their stakeholder relationships, they're harnessing them. They are literally turning that whole network of trust and partnership into the engine that powers their entire sustainability journey. And that creates a kind of momentum that a policy document alone never ever could.
So, let's end with a question for you to think about. Right now, as we speak, your employees, your customers, your communities, they're all talking. They're sharing what they expect, what they hope for, what they're concerned about. The real question is your organization actually built to listen? And are you ready to turn all that talk into your greatest asset?